guys, welcome back. It's Lord Dylan with Drop by Drop. Vivian's not with me today, but she'll be with me soon. Today we are going to be talking about the detection threshold and the impact analysis for the aroma chemical ISOE Super. So just letting you know, I've updated the paperwork for the detection threshold, as well as I've added the detection threshold wording per se and the impact analysis wording on the paperwork. So I've also, if you noticed, we have it now to where when you're off camera or when you're not with me, you're going to do your additional due diligence and continue with this aroma chemical, and you're going to analyze it at the different time periods. So I only go up to the 24 hours only because I want to see whether or not the aroma chemical is going to last all day for a person, pretty much. And so I don't need to know if it's going to last 3 days, 2 days, 4 days, whatever. People normally take a shower in the same day when they're making, if they want a fragrance. So, so again, it's to where you could take at the 0.001%, you're going to tell it what you detect at the blast in 5 minutes, 30 minutes, hour, 2 hour, 3, whatever. And you normally have a timer going so that you're able to, you just get an alarm going and it tells you, okay, go analyze them again. All right, so each scent strip. We have everything on scent strips. This is how we're going to be analyzing. So ISOE Super is at the 0.01% here, and I have it going all the way up to the 100%. We're starting at the low end, working our way up, because you don't want to blow out your nose before you have a chance to really, if you smell it at 100% and then try and smell it at a 0.001%, you're going to smell it. So your brain is can already detect it. So we're going to start from the low end and work our way to the highest end. Okay, so a little bit about ISOE Super. It is from originally from IFF, which is International Fragrance and Flavor, or Flavor and Fragrances, I can't remember, just IFF, which is a manufacturer of aroma chemicals. And if you go to their website, you can actually find additional information. If you go to their, you look up ISOE Super, you can actually download the pamphlet that talks about it. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'm just going to read you a little bit. So it's the olfactory description for ISOE Super, coming from the manufacturer, states that it's smooth, woody, ambery, I agree with that, with unique aspects giving a velvet-like sensation, used to impart fullness and subtle strength to fragrances, superb floralizer found in the majority of newer fine fragrances, and also useful in soaps. It's richer in the desirable gamma isomer than it is in the isocyclamone. What they're talking about there is the gamma isomers that are, when you've got the higher gamma isomers, which are felt in timber silk and silva amber, and then in the captive ingredient that's used for the molecule 1, I think it's called iso gamma super, or super gamma, something like that. Anyway, that particular molecule is only available through IFF if you are if you make fragrances through IFF. They have a lot of captive ingredients that are not released to the public for perfumers like us to use. ISOE Super is the lowest one, but I really like it because it's not too strong, not too overbearing. If I wanted something that was a little bit more stronger, then I would go with the timber silk. If I wanted something even more of the kick, then I would go with the silva amber. You can actually take silva amber, put it in alcohol at 21.4%, and you basically have a really nice molecule 1 dupe. It's really nice. So I love ISOE Super wearing it just by itself. It's actually not neat, but diluted down to a temp. I like it at 10%. 20% is a little too strong. 10% is just right. I even like it at a 1%. So that's my take on that. There's additional paperwork that you can download. You can go to the Good Sense Company and download more information. I just print some stuff out. It gives other descriptions based on different types of products like timber silk, IFF, smooth woody amber note, and then you've got the Orbitone, which is provided by Tagasago, which is a Japanese company manufacturing, and they call theirs Orbitone. Perfumers World does ISOE Super. It is a medium strength, can last up to 172 hours at 100% on a scent strip. And when we are looking at or talking about the different odor descriptors, I'm going to go ahead and show you here. We're talking about it from going from what it should smell like on the blast, and then as it starts to dry down, you're going to start getting these notes. So cedar, woody. Now I'll talk about that in a minute. Old wood, ketonic, and phenolic. Okay, so again, it's best that you probably don't read any of this information when you're doing this test, because you actually want to get your own opinion about it. You don't want to be subjected to someone else's opinion. So, okay. That being said, all right, we're going to go ahead and dilute these down, or put these on the scent strip. This is the 0.001, and I'm using in mine a testing diluent of alcohol, because that's how it's going to be pretty much used in the final product for me. So I might as well use it in my final product, what I would use in my final product. So that's the 0.001. We're going to now put a 0.01. We'll tend to smell these relatively quickly. I guess I should wait. I'll wait. All right, I'll do this as we go. All right, gives it about 5 seconds for the alcohol to dissipate. What we're going to do, if you want to see, we're going to go up there. This is what we're going to do at the 0.001, all the different levels. You're going to determine, do you detect it or not? So what's important is that when you're formulating with ISOE Super, most people will formulate at the 100%. And that's because it's normally at 10% that it's in the final product that it's used, but you can go up to all the way up to 21.4. It is a restricted material as of this video. So that means that at 21.4% is all you can have in your final product. Normally, a commercial fragrance is 10% of the fragrance concentrate, so most likely you're going to be below that 21.4. So basically, unless you go higher than 21.4% fragrance concentrate in your final product, it's basically limitless for you to use in your fragrance, your formula. Okay, hopefully that made sense. It is the 4th used aroma chemical in our palette. We use it a lot. It's an amazing material. You need, when you purchase it, you might want to buy a lot of it, because you will be using it a lot, and you'll use it in different levels. At least we do. So we don't always formulate at 100% with ISOE Super. We will bring it down to 10%, because as you'll know, as we move forward, you will know that you can dilute it down to 10% and still use it in a formula, and it will perform well. Everything's falling. Okay. Oh Lord. Okay, so at the 0.001%, I can slightly detect it, but it's not detectable enough that I would actually use this in an actual formula. So I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to make that as a 0, because it's definitely not detectable at all. And then I'm just going to cross out 0.001 on my sheet, because I'm not going to utilize that one, or I will not be using it in a fragrance. I'm going to go ahead and start putting these on just to go quicker on this video. So ISOE Super at 0.01%. Do an ISOE Super at, I forgot to show it on the last one, at 0.1%. Go ahead, gives it about, half a minute, 2, 3 for the alcohol to dissipate. Oops, sorry. And then we're going to do the 1%. I do formulate at 1% and 10%. I like using both because they do have very nice characteristics you'll understand here shortly. We're going to now do the 10%. Again, this is diluted down in a alcohol diluent. Alcohol is my diluent, because that is what I normally use as my final product. So, and then of course at 100%, oh, shouldn't have smelled that, but I know this material well enough, how it performs, that I think I'll be okay with this video. Okay, it is a nice yellow amberish, not amber, it's yellow gold color at the full strength. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with a 0.01. Notice, like I said, 0.001 is not going to be used because I can't detect it. And it is faintly detectable on the 0.01%. Very faint. I mean, like half. And, sorry. I can smell that sweetness almost, that it's almost like it's just sweeter. It's almost like a sweet wood right now. And very, very, very faint ambergris, but I'm not going to put that on there because it's not something that I really, really detect, or that my customer would even detect probably. Now we're going to the 0.1%. Now we're starting to get that ambergris type scent to me. Ambergris, which is like a sweet wood. Oh, that's pretty. And that's very pretty. It's detectable. And I would say it's detectable probably at the 1 mark as far as impact. So this is saying this is the highest impact. This is the lowest impact. I'm saying it's right at that 1, probably even half of that, maybe. And then when you get to the 1%, this one is very nice. So, and it's detectable definitely probably at the 1, I think. It's not super strong like it punches my nose. The impact is not punching me. It's very subtle and sweet. Maybe we'll go to 1.5. Subtle. Hopefully I'm spelling that right. Subtle, sweet wood. And it still has that, like I said, the ambergris. Very pretty. And then the 10% is where you're getting all those characteristics for sure. That is a much higher impact. It's still a low impact, but it's detectable. So I'm going to put it at the 3. It's not punching me, but it's detectable. So, sweet, velvety wood is exactly what you're getting. Oh, that is so beautiful. And on the skin, it just translates. It just transforms. And then at 100%, crazy as this may sound, it's at the 100%. This is actually so dense in its fragrance that it's not open like a rose. So its impact is relatively the same of the 10, if not a little bit lower. It's not hitting my nose like the tin can. Tin can. Okay, sorry. So, but it's definitely a little bit more dense. It's like a dense sweetness. Its impact is no different, I guess, basically, than what I feel at the 10. So I'm just going to put it right there at the 3. It's not as high of an impact. It's not a high impact like a linalool at all. Dense, sweet, velvet wood. Okay, so after 5 minutes, let's see how far we've been going. We've been going probably long enough for me to go back now to where we're going to go to the 5-minute mark for the 1%. We're now back at 1%. Sorry. And it still has, it's actually quite nice. It's still the sweet wood. And in about 30 minutes, I'll come back to this and see how it performs or how it does. Right now, I don't need to know about the impact about it. I just need to know if it's still detectable in 5 minutes. We've got now the ISO Super at 0.1. Oh yeah. And so it kind of has, it's like a sweet ambergris type. Ambergris. Ambergris. And wood. It's definitely like a wood. It's not a particular wood. I mean, if I were to say it was like a specific wood, it has a slight sharpness of cedar. But, I mean, it would be a great, I think, pairing with cedar to give illusion of it being a little more rounded and robust. We're now at the 1%. Yeah, it's still it's subtle, sweet. Nice, misspelled. Sweet wood. Subtle. And just an edge, just a slight edge of cedar. And it's not cedar when it's first, you smell it. It's not cedar when you first smell it. It's cedar after it's sat for 30 days. It's almost like you can say, oh yeah, I could tell that once was cedar. That ISOE Super has that slight cedar, old sitting cedar smell. Okay, we're now at 10%. It's just so beautiful. I love it at the 10%, and it's performing beautifully. It's the Sweet Velvet Wood. I'm not going to go with the 100% because I don't want to. Well, I guess I can. Okay. It's opened up a little bit. And it's almost like it's a little too overpowering. It's dense and overpowering. So, you're going to go now back in and you're going to go at the 30-minute mark and you're going to start telling me what you're going to tell yourself what you smell on these scent strips in 30 minutes, 1 hour, and so forth. That's why doing an analysis for an aroma chemical, you only do one a day. That's the reason why we're just doing this once a day, because it does take a while. Okay, so just so you understand, I can't stay on here too long because my computer will turn off. When you're formulating at 100% this aroma chemical and you're putting this directly into your fragrance concentrate, understanding how it's going to perform at its diluted level, which is 10%, is what you're really after. So it's great to smell it at 100%, but technically you want to smell, this is where most of your materials are going to be at when they're in the final product, the 10% mark. So that's why it's so imperative to understand how it is performing at this level, this 10%, and whether or not it's detectable or not. So if you were to dilute, see, I love the smell of it at 10%, but I tell you what, I even love it at 1%. And at 1%, it's just subtle enough, so that means that I could actually use this as a background noise type of aroma chemical in my fragrance concentrate or in my formula, and do it at a 10% solution. In other words, formulate it at a 10% solution. And then when I go to put it in a final product at 10, it's actually performing at the 1%. And the same goes for indole and all these other higher impact aroma chemicals. You're going to dilute them down, like galaxolide would be at 50%. You want to know how it's going to perform whenever you bring it down to a 10%. So if you were to formulate with the ISOE Super at 1%, when you go to put it in a 10% final product, this is how it's going to perform at the 0.1. So now you can go, okay, if I were to formulate at a 1% solution in my fragrance concentrate, how will it perform? This is how it will perform. And it's got, this one is beautiful at a 0.1%. It has a very nice characteristic. It's just sweet. It's like a, what did it say? It said sweet ambergris wood. That's exactly how it feels at the 0.1%. So that means I could formulate technically at a 1% solution in my fragrance concentrate and expect it to perform at this level, or perform at the 0.1, because I normally dilute everything down or do my final product at 10%. Okay, and then we're going to look at 0.01, and it's okay. It's not really something I would ever formulate at. It's detectable, but it's not something I would use. And so I'm going to cross out on mine the 0.1 because I really don't think I'll ever formulate at a 0.01%. So I'm putting that aside. These are the most important ones for me. All right. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the questions or comments section below. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can get notification that we are either live or that we've posted a new video. And I shall see you on the next video. Have a great day.